Okay, welcome back to It's New. In any event, we are covering the core update news. I have three stories on that. It's been a while since we had It's New. Morty, what do you got for us?
Let's talk about AI and see what we can ask it.
And if Anu was here, she'd be talking about Google Ads unlocking Merchant Center videos in PMax. And Greg, what do you got for us?
And the I in AI Max may not stand for incremental.
Great. Okay, so Google announced on December 11th, I think it was Thursday afternoon, right after Greg stopped recording the Marketing O'Clock show. He had two breaking news posts, which is pretty funny. Good cut-ins there. Basically, the core update, the December 2025 core update has released. Again, it happened. It's going to take about up to 3 weeks to roll out. It's a normal Google update. Google said in their post on LinkedIn, this is a regular update designed to better surface satisfying content for searchers for all types of sites. Yay. Anyway, I did my YouTube video, posted it. This is the third core update we had of 2025 and the fourth Google confirmed update of the 2025 year. We also had that's a spam update. So we did not have more core updates more often unless Google releases like another 5 updates before the end of the year, which I doubt. And then on Saturday, we noticed that the core update started to have an intense impact. I think it started to be felt sometime Friday afternoon or so. And then we started to see some significant updates and ranking volatility on Saturday going into Sunday. It seemed to come down this morning on Monday, but there's lots of chatter and lots of tools showing the significant spike on that date, including Glenn Gabe, who posted his core update notes that morning, and every morning he'll be posting that. And then finally, Morty is wrong. Do I have to expand on that or no? You just leave it like that?
No, I just think that's it. That's this whole story.
So the little backstory there is that Morty went on Blue Sky and went ahead and ranted about how it's odd that not Google doesn't know the exact date of the launch. It could be soon, not today, maybe tomorrow. He was mocking Google, and then Google's John Mueller went at him with clause, say we try to launch quality improvements as soon as they're ready and evaluated. Having quality changes ready for a specific date time is never a given, and pre-announcing for a fixed date is not possible. Preparing a day for a logo launch, for example, is much easier. Got that, Morty? You're wrong.
Yeah. Can I just say, in my own fairness, okay,
no,
fine. I'm just wrong. If they would have came out and made an announcement like, look, in the next coming days or weeks, we expect the core update, fine. But it's like this tongue-in-cheek sort of well, is there going to be an update? I don't know. Who knows? It's like, I think that's where the messaging goes wrong for me.
So see, they can't say the date.
They know the date. I feel like
they can't say.
So they've tried to giving me dates a week ahead of time, and then it gets pushed off a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It happens all the time. So I think that's the issue with core updates. It's ready, it's not ready, it's ready, it's not ready, and once it's ready, it goes.
So say that, they're saying, if
why
you have one ready, we're not exactly sure when it's going to go live. It's imminent. Okay.
That's what they said.
They basically said that they think there's one coming soon. This is soon. I don't have a problem with it.
No, I think my problem is more like the tongue-in-cheek, could be today, could be tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah. I did think it was supposed to probably be announced at the Zurich event. That was my gut feeling to say, we have a core update, but it didn't happen. So that was my gut feeling. And then it didn't happen. And then we got it maybe the day after, and they're like, no, we'll hold it off a little bit longer just to annoy Morty. And then they release it on Thursday to make him unhappy.
Super.
Anyway, unhappy. But we have some news from you, Morty, right?
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk to AI? Things are way better for you. This is actually interesting. It's the conversational Google Search Live. It gets a little more conversational. The example they gave, we were looking at a piece of a rock, and say we know what kind of rock it is. It gives you back an answer, and then the prompt, or the prompter asks Gemini, "Hey, could you now say this if I was a 6-year-old?" And it changes its whole inflection, its whole tone. So it's a lot more conversational. I kind of liked it. I thought it was good.
I'm glad.
That's good.
It's good. I mean, as long as you're happy with it. I mean, it's all
yeah. I mean, I don't complain about things. This one is interesting. I'm trying to wrap my mind around this. This is the Q&A feature in the local knowledge panel, which Google seemed to have shelved. I always thought it was an interesting feature. I always liked it. There was a test that Barry spotted. Someone spotted that Barry spotted, where there was an ask button. Is that right for asking AI?
Yeah, in the Google Maps profile,
yeah.
and for the searchers interface, it's been an ask button for the past few months or so. Yeah.
Right. So now Google's saying that the Q&A feature was not a great way to find information, and that by asking AI, they can pull information. This is where I'm a little bit confused. I guess information from the reviews. There's no Q&A that they're pulling it from because it doesn't exist anymore. And I guess your website. They mentioned reviews in the quote that you have here. Where
It
else
is confusing. It's
the
definitely confusing. Yeah, because if they're getting rid of the Q&A feature, I guess they're only using historical Q&As for the new ask button. And basically they were saying that the Q&A could be so long that it's hard for searchers to find the questions and the answers they're looking for. Not that Google's a search company or anything, so they can't put a search box on top of the Q&A to find Google, like Amazon reviews. You can search for specific comments in the reviews. You can't do that here with Google Q&A. But they're like, yeah, we'll use AI to figure it all out. But you're right. They're getting rid of the Q&A button. So how are people going to ask questions in the future? So it's going to be stale stuff? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's weird.
That's all I got.
Yeah, so that's a change. And yeah, I guess it's been gone for some countries for a while, and some, I don't know, it's been a weird feature. Anyway, hopefully Anu, you're with us. You could talk about the Merchant Center stuff.
Anyway, so Google's new Merchant Center video integration is now giving PMax advertisers a faster setup. So now there is now a button within, your YouTube videos that you want to add to PMax, linking to your Merchant Center. It's in beta at the moment. And that means for those with like so many SKU counts, like large SKU counts, it dramatically speeds up workflow. And it shows video coverage at scale. So now a very, very large ability to just pull in your videos from your Merchant Center into PMax, making it so much easier than before.
Right. And previously we saw they're pulling in from social campaigns like X and Facebook and Instagram, and now they're bringing in from Merchant Center. Everything is one big happy family on the Google Ads platform.
Is happy in the Google Ads platform, with the exception
sorry,
of the fact that AI Max may be taking some of your exact or other matched terms. And Brad Geddes spotted this in what it seemed like it was all one campaign. And he had the exact match preschools near me in there, which should take priority. And he saw a match to AI Max preschools near me. So really, Google should be showing the exact match there because it's in there and it hypothetically should identically match. There's a whole article I wrote over on Search Engine Land about what identical match is. So he said, hey, there could be cannibalization on here. And there's a big LinkedIn post and he shared that detail. To which Ginny responded and said, hey, thanks for the insights. We looked in and found that it was an autocomplete suggestion within Maps search. So Ginny said, essentially, a user started typing something like daycare or daycare near me, right? Started doing it and it was suggested in there. That's new to me, I guess, that AI Max will autofill if there's an autofill that's AI Max. But she said she looked into it and that's it. And it's a different form of matching, essentially. So it wasn't a raw text query. It was an autocomplete, allegedly. So I'm assuming exact match still should take precedence over the other ones, but obviously there are exceptions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I had you cover the story, because I know I fell asleep while writing it. So
yeah, I mean, it just if you autocomplete it, the autocomplete part is AI Max, but we don't know what's autocompleted, so it just will look like.
And it's changing. I saw another post from Ginny over the weekend. Like things are changing, like the rules. So anyway, that's why you need to watch these shows and Marketing O'Clock and PPC Live and Search Engine Land and every single blog out there, because if you miss one little thing, you're gonna go out of business.
Pretty much.
Wow. No pressure.
Pretty much.
Watch us. Subscribe. Bye.
Bye.